Yeah, my name is Dan Flathers. I'm with Williston Fire Department. I'm a lieutenant there. I'm on an engine company. This is actually based out of Northwest North Dakota. So we're here showcasing our Enforcer pumper that we just had made. You can see we have a black over red paint scheme. We have extended bumper for a trash line. We've got room for a trash line here. We actually have 2.5-inch plumbing to make sure that we have minimal friction loss even on our front bumper line. We went with the traditional bell. It's a 70-inch cab, flat top. If you look inside, we've got, with the Enforcer cab, we have side skirt airbags and front airbags for our protection, and it keeps the firefighters safe. We went with the controls up top. They match on the other side for the officer, for scene lighting and stuff, so an officer can actually control the scene lighting while a driver's like in tight areas or dark areas, which is something that we deal with. We went with rear facing seats. That's for like a little easier deployment for your rear firefighter. And then we have a compartment here that's holds a 6-foot New York hook, and then we've got a spot for a water extinguisher or ABC or CO extinguisher. These actually tip out. We went with the opposite swing door also for time, so when they come out, they're not having to walk extra distance. So it's literally just out, open, grab your stuff and go to work. If you come to the pump panel, we've got vertical throw valves. This is so that we can manually adjust everything easy instead of pushing and pulling. Sometimes those get sticky. This allows us to easily open and close these valves. Ashcroft gauges we went with, 0 to 400 instead of a 600. This is so we can have more accurate readings when we're pumping. Minimal, it's just for minimal friction loss and stuff like that. I forgot to mention, we do have 3-inch plumbing on all of our stuff that came out. We have a Watrous 2000 GPM pump. Like I said, it is a pumper, so we want to make sure we're able to capitalize on our water supply and make sure we can get as much water volume as needed where we're at. We cover a large variety of stuff as far as like commercial, multifamily residential, urban suburban interface. We're it kind of where we're at. It's all like the center hub of the Bakken oil field is where we're at. Here we have a dead lay. This is going to be for 3-inch, and that's so we can do booster backup. Basically, we're going to be able to supply a second due pumper or a first din pumper with 3-inch if we need to. It's also easy access for ground monitors if we need to deploy ground monitors, and it's easy access for our FTCs and stuff like that. We do have up top, it's a manual Akron deck gun. What it is it lifts up so that it's manually lifted up so that it can clear our booster reel, and the driver can operate that. You have your valve here, and then we have another valve up there in the top, and the driver's able to open the valve here, climb up, get inside, position the deck gun where he needs it to be, and then open it up manually there. Here's the actual driver's compartment. We have a toolbox and we have adjustable shelving. The idea is the driver's gear will be in here, and we'll have like extra fittings, appliances, stuff like that that's able to go in here. It'll have a place to be where it's secured and it's not just floating around in a compartment. And the gear, the nice thing about the gear is it'll keep it in here so we have more room up front for the firefighters up there. It's not so cluttered. We do have, you can see the compartment lighting. White is going to be for your daytime lighting, and then we can switch it to red for nighttime lighting. That just makes it easier on the eyes when it's dark out. So we have our standard storage for outside SCBAs. We also have the ones in the seat I forgot to mention when we were up there, so that you can actually pack up in the rig. We are a combination department, meaning we have POC guys that show up on scene. This also makes it easy for a driver if we need it. A driver can pack up if we're short-staffed. Same with your regular cylinders. We got spots for cylinders, your fuel and DEF, just a normal thing there. We went with actual doors, like open and close doors instead of a roll-up, just because where we're at, it just seems to be more durable, lasts longer. For this center compartment, we went with the swing out here. This is so we can mount extra tools. It gives us more storage options for when we have extra, like I said, set of irons or something like that, bolt cutters, pipe wrenches, stuff like that. If we need it on scene, it gives us a spot to put it. And then it gives us extra tools for our POC guys to use. This rear compartment here is gonna be for saws and fans. And we actually have a slide out shelf here. So that's gonna be like for our fans here. Saws will probably go here. We got multiple different fans that we like to use and have. Just gives us good storage options for that. Coming to the back of the apparatus, we've got your standard storage for like your hydrant bag and stuff like that. We'll have in there maybe some salvage covers or something. But this is kind of something we got actually off of a different department out of Texas. And it's really applicable where we're at. We're trying to run a pre-connected setup. That's what we currently have. And this is allowing us to run it off of the rear. So what we did here was run a 2.5 pre-connect setup up here. It's gonna be 200 feet of 2.5 here. We're gonna have 200 feet of 1.75 inch here, 200 feet of 1.75 inch here. We're gonna have 400 feet of 2.5 dead lay up there. This right here is a VES ladder. It's for like an elevated foundation. So like trailer houses are kind of up off the ground. Any of your basement homes where we're at, the first floor windows are a little bit off the ground. This gives us a 6-foot ladder for easier access into those windows. And this right here is gonna give us a spot for our 100-foot 1.75 inch bundle. It's a Minuteman bundle is what we have for that. But this is something that's really cool. We went with an 8-foot bed. It's a 750-gallon tank. So the hose bed actually should load pretty nice. I know other departments do shorter ones. 8 foot's gonna work good for where we're at. Behind the ladders, I forgot to mention, we have storage for pike poles. We have another hook up here, and then we have a trash hook here. We have our attic ladder, 10-foot attic ladder up there. A ladder complement, we went with outside mount, like a side mount, so we don't have to worry about ladder tunnels. In the event that you need to get the ladder off of the truck, we're not worried about people being in the way. We can come up to the side of the truck, pull the ladders off of the side. What we went with actually is a 28 and a 16-foot combo. It's a 28-foot duo safe base ladder, and then a 16-foot Alkalite roof ladder. That combination, the two of them, we can actually, if we need to splice a ladder in an emergency, we can build our own 35-foot ladder on an engine, which 35s aren't normally on an engine. So this rear compartment here is where we're gonna actually mount our extrication tools. We have e-tools that we're gonna put saddles in here. This is gonna be for, we use the whole Macho e-tools. They're gonna get mounted in here. So we have a power inverter with multiple power outlets on the other side for like charging stations and stuff. And we also have charging stations in the cab. This allows us to have adequate power when we're on scene if we need to change a battery and stuff like that. Dual aux intakes, I forgot to mention that. That's one thing we did put on here. Driver and passenger side aux intakes, that was something I think is really important for us to have. It's nice to have if we needed to run 2-3 inches into the apparatus, we have access to do that. As well as the dual 5-inch intakes. It's on both driver and officer side. Same setup on this side. If I have a back seater, we have a spot for a water can that tips out or a ABC extinguisher. And then a hook, 6-foot hook. I didn't bring up our med cabinet, but we do run ALS services where we're at. And this gives us a spot to put a lot of our EMS supplies. And there is a charging, there is a power outlet in there, as well as a spot for us to hook up 12 volt if we need to. That was something Pierce provided us with. Like I was saying earlier, we do have access to scene lighting on the officer's side, as well as the driver's side up top. Just to make it easier for the whole operation when we're moving down the road. We went with the Firecom headsets in this thing that are cordless, so we can actually be outside of the rig talking to each other and transmit to dispatch if we need to as well. So the lighting on this truck, we have, it's FireTech. We went with like a full complement package. Literally the scene lights, all of our emergency lighting, it's all FireTech. The reason for that, we got super bright scene lighting, and then with the fire tech emergency lighting, we've got smart options. We can change the modes based off of when we're responding, when we're parked, different light patterns, flash patterns, different light colors. If we're in a different, like if we need to assist mutual aid, like in Montana or something, they got a different light pattern than we do in North Dakota, or light color requirement than we do in North Dakota. So this allows us to change that kind of on the fly. It's just a really neat option that they offered. I forgot to mention earlier too, we do have all of our handles are backlit. Well, I'd like to give a shout out to our chiefs at Williston Fire Department. We thank you for the opportunity to do this. Thank you to Scott with McQueen Fire Trucks, and just the guys that helped, Mitch Byman, RJ Benz, Corey Johnson. Just thanks a lot for helping us with this, guys. And Pierce, thank you, man. This is a really cool opportunity we have, cool experience. The truck's really, really awesome. We're really looking forward to putting it to work.